Okay, so my first question would be, does anyone know anything about blockchain? Any bits?
Because they are first years.
Yeah, right. So but still, if you guys have heard about, let's say, Bitcoin, have anyone heard about Bitcoin? So yeah, there is this thing, right? Bitcoin, people who buy, they get rich, and people who buy later, they get poorer, right? So the ones who bought earlier, they sold it to the rest. So that's how things are. So whenever we talk about blockchain, people get the perspective that blockchain is Bitcoin, right? But that's not the case. The Bitcoin is an application which has used this technology to build its own blockchain, right? So there are various new ones like Ethereum. Has anyone heard about Ethereum? Right? So this is a fad amongst youngsters like us who are exploring new ways to become rich, right? So people in our like for example in a middle class, if he wants to get rich, there are very few techniques which he can do. Some watch share market and start investing in that. Some watch movies and get inspired and start investing in that. But most of us do not get to know what the technology is behind and just start investing and get rich. I mean, a lot of students and a lot of my friends who have invested are getting wrecked because the market is so volatile. Okay. So here I'm mostly going to talk about the technology, though I would also talk a bit about trading and how you can earn money. But though this is not an investment advice and I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research before trying anything out because there is real money involved. So do your own research. So uh, let's start with the first slide. This is my topic. Decentralized finance on blockchain. It's also shortly called as DeFi. So they usually use funky terms for this. So this is a part of Web 3.0. I'll talk more about that soon. Okay. So as you guys said that you guys are not aware what a blockchain is, I have a very simple PPT. This does not exactly represent what a blockchain is, but it's just a simplified version. So before understanding blockchain, you should understand what a block is. Okay. So this blockchain, like the name says, it's a chain of blocks. So for example, this is the first block. This has three things. Okay. It has a hash of that particular block. Hash is a unique key for that block, which holds all the transactions. Okay. And it has the hash of previous block. Okay. So that's the reason it's a chain. So if let's say I get a block and I have to identify where it is, we have the hash of the previous block. So we know, okay, this block comes after that block. And this chain consists of transactions. For example, someone, so what's your name? And what's your name? What? Naima. Okay, let's say Sheetal wants to send some Bitcoin to Naima. So what she would do is she would run a transaction where she is trying to send these currencies, let's say one Bitcoin, which is not possible because it's like 50 lakhs or something. So she's sending it to Naima, right? So what happens is like they do not have their names on the Explorer. It's just a random generated wallet, which is a key. So you like people say like the people use blockchain for some activity, illicit activities like let's say assassination or drug selling, right? It is because you cannot see who is giving what to who, right? You can only see the wallet address of Sheetal, but we don't know it's Sheetal's wallet, right? And she's sending it to Naima. So what happens? This transaction is recorded in a block. Okay, it says that Sheetal sent some Bitcoin to Naima. So this ledger or this list of transactions are entered into one block, and then the rest are entered into the next block. So this is a list of transactions which only says, okay, this person sent some amount of whatever token to the other person. So this is a list, and this list cannot, this is immutable. So you cannot just erase one transaction and add a new one. Once it's on the blockchain, it cannot be deleted. Okay, so that's the way how the blockchain works. So let's move on to the next slide. I hope you are getting my point. It's a bit complex, but yeah, you just need to know the rough idea what it is, and then you can do your own research. How the blockchain technology works, right? So like I said, Sheetal is sending some money to Naima. So what she does is she requests a transaction. I hope you guys can see it, right? So the first point here, she requests a transaction. So what exactly is a blockchain? Is like it's this list of transactions which is there at every computer. So if let's say I participate in mining, right? You have heard, right? I'm mining a Bitcoin. So what you are doing is you are keeping a ledger of this blockchain that let's say Naima is sending to Sheetal or whatever. This list of transaction is there on every computer who is mining, right? So there's no way that someone can change their own list and add like some amount of Bitcoin was sent to me. You cannot do that because it's shared across all the miners. So for something to be added, everyone needs to validate, okay, that this transaction was correct, that this transaction, the next hash produced was correct. You have the previous hash rate, right? So you need to confirm, this list of participants needs to confirm that, okay, this was a proper block. And only then this transaction would go into the next block. So that's the reason this is decentralized, because there is no particular server. Like, for example, Facebook is controlled by Facebook Corporation, right? Meta, right? So Meta has all the data and they have their own servers and they are controlling everything. But in this case, we miners, or let's say who are participating in this blockchain, are controlling everything. So to stop Bitcoin, this government can start doing this thing, right? You cannot convert Bitcoin to INR. That can be done, but you cannot stop everything because there are hundreds and thousands of miners around the globe. Everyone needs to shut down their computer. Only then can blockchain die, or let's say Bitcoin die, for example. So in this case, let's go back to the PPT. So we have our transaction which was sent to the network of nodes that are you guys. Okay, so you guys do our validation, and once this transaction is verified, it goes into a block, and this block contains multiple transactions. For example, a new block is added every 10 minutes. Okay, so all the transaction which takes place in that 10 minutes will be added into that block, and once that block is complete, it goes and attaches itself to all the rest of the blocks. Okay, and then your transaction is successful and your transaction is finished. Okay, so that's the complete life cycle of how a transaction works. Okay. Evolution of internet. So you might have heard the buzzwords, right? Web 3.0. Have anyone heard Web 3.0? People talking about Web 3.0, Web 2.0. So this is the evolution of internet, right? So we had in 1990s various applications like Netscape, which were very static, which didn't do much, and they did not have a lot of data like we have today. Today we are in Web 2.0, right? Facebook, Airbnb, Uber, these people have loads and loads of data. Cloud computing is used, or let's say big data is used to do analysis on these data. So this is the Web 2.0, which has a large chunk of data, which is dynamic, and we can pull out analytics. But this is centralized. So Facebook holds all the data. If Facebook decides to close off Facebook, then Facebook goes down, right? So this is centralized. There is a central entity who controls it. But Web 3.0 is all about decentralization. It does not want a single entity to control everything. It wants that peer-to-peer network, that is our network, people's network. It needs all the attributes by which we can fulfill this. So decentralized finance is trying to replace banks. Okay. So traditional finance like banks, Reserve Bank, exchanges, these are traditional central entities. So decentralized finance wants to replace that. So it wants to create programs which can do all the work a bank does. Right? There's no requirement of people. Once we create a program, it decides what the interest rate is. You can buy tokens from there and you can give a collateral. For example, if you go to buy a loan, what do they ask? So they ask your CIBIL and they also ask for collateral. For example, मुझे एक लोन चाहिए, वो लोग मुझसे मांगेंगे कि आपका घर का papers, right? So you need to give some collateral so that you can get the loans. Similar way, decentralized finance, you can give some other token as a collateral and then buy different tokens. So that's how it works. So and this gets the interest. For example, हम लोग savings में कितना interest rate मिलता है आज? किसी को idea है? 3.5, right, very less. So what do you think bank gets from the ones who give the to whom they give loans? Banks को कितना मिलता होगा? ज़्यादा मिलता होगा, right? Bank, they take their cuts, right? So once we get rid of banks and we have applications who can do that, what happens? Your money starts earning more, right? Your money starts earning more, and that's the way we are looking forward to. So this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, MakerDAO. These are applications which are built on blockchains who are trying to do that. Bitcoin was very basic. It did only transactions, but Ethereum is very different. We can program on Ethereum. We can create smart contracts who can decide what to do. Like so for example, Ethereum is right now takes a lot of gas price, which means if I want to do a transaction, there is some gas involved which goes to the miner, right? I talked about miners. So these miners earn from our transaction. Now Sheetal sent it to Naima. So there was some amount which she had to pay to the miner. So this gas fee is a lot in Ethereum. So that's the reason there are various new blockchains coming up like Polygon, Cardano, different types of them. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Just in simple terms, what they are trying to do. So this is a traditional financial system which has a reserve bank. This is our central bank, and these are all our chota mota banks like HDFC or ICICI, all these different kinds of block banks. So what's happening is money is moving around inside. So like banks get to decide whom they give loan to. So for example, me, you, everyone is giving, let's say 1,000, 2,000 rupees to the bank for around 3% interest rate. What bank decides to do is give that to Nirav Modi or Vijay Mallya, right? And they get out with our money, and who is on the loss, right? I am on the loss. People, my money, my hard-earned money is going, right? So in decentralized finance, you can only buy loan if you have the collateral. So these people do not have collateral, right? So that's the reason our money went away. So one should keep something as collateral. These people, what they do, rich people, they have a lot of shares in the company. So they don't earn salary. What they do is like they have a lot of stocks. They keep it in bank, saying that this is my collateral, and they take out loans and they live off it. Okay, so they buy loans and live like kings with the loan, right? So that's what happening in traditional finance. So what decentralized finance is trying to do is like the peer-to-peer network which I talked about. So everything would be on blockchain. That this guy, this wallet borrowed some amount of money, and he needs to pay that because I have locked some amount of tokens from that particular wallet. So it's a peer-to-peer network. No need for a central entity. We control that. We just need to create an application on blockchain. So that's what a blockchain developer does. So one thought behind this presentation is to inspire people to become blockchain developers. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So a few attributes of decentralized finance. So I hope you cannot see because I also cannot see what it is. So this is decentralization. Okay, so like I said, it's decentralized. You're hearing this word a lot. Then it's trustless. So you do not need to trust some bank or any NBFC to give back your money. So it's trustless because it's on blockchain and everyone knows what's happening there. Okay. Next, it's transparent. So anyone can view what's happening on the blockchain. There is a blockchain explorer website which I would show you in the demo. So in that you can see who sent the transaction to whom. Then it's censorship resistant and programmable. So no one can say okay sab band karo achanak se. So what they can do, government can do is like आप Bitcoin को cash में convert नहीं कर सकते. Cash as in INR or dollar. That's what they can do, but they cannot stop the whole blockchain. I am not defending Bitcoin here. So the thing is, what my conclusion would say it all. I have a whole slide for that conclusion. Okay, and it's programmable like Solidity. You guys can create a program. So I created a very small program on smart contract which has only 2 functions. So in that way you can start with this blockchain programming. Yeah, there's like I said, if let's say someone wants to send someone money, what happens? आप GPay use करते हो, phone pay use करते हो, what happens in the background is like sometimes you get some error, right? आपने किसी ने use किया bank server not up, right, because the thing is what happens is it's like it does not go on, it's not decentralized, or it's not on blockchain, right? So what happens is you need to communicate. So communication is how money is getting transferred. So for example, you are the sender. Let's take another example. What's your name? Shubham. And what's your name? Short name. Arun. Okay. What's your name? I'm sorry. Shubham and Arun. Okay. So Shubham wants to send Arun some amount of money in traditional finance. What they do is like they open GPay and they put in search for that contact. Okay. So nowadays it's on UPI, but there are other transactions like Visa, PayPal. These are other things. So what happens is like once he tries to send it, once he uploads the transaction. So what happens is he's connected to his own bank to check whether he has the balance to send to him. So what happens? It connects his own bank, then it goes to a gateway, payment gateway, and then it goes to the bank of the other person, and then it comes to you. So this is the whole process which happens. This is very simple, but it's a bit complex in real world. What decentralized finance is, you can directly send it to that other person. There is no intermediary, there is no bank server error, there is no other type of error, because you are sending it directly to that other person. Shubham ने भेजा, Arun को मिला. That's it, right? So that's what happening. Let's
Provided he has balance.
provided he has balance, right? Yeah. आपके पास नहीं होगा अगर कुछ तो ट्रांजैक्शन फेल हो जाएगा, जैसे रियल वर्ल्ड में फेल होता है, राइट? सो वैसे फेल हो जाएगा अगर आपके पास नहीं है टोकन्स, तो आप नहीं भेज सकते. सिंपल. So this is a DeFi timeline. I'm sure you guys. Does anyone know what this symbols represent?
So which symbol?
Right. Yeah. So that guy is doing some things. Yeah, that's Uniswap. This is a decentralized exchange like we have, right? Upstocks. Nowadays we get a lot of ads, right? Upstocks, Zerodha, and all other things for shares, right? So in similar way, this is a Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange for blockchains. Okay. So what happened was this guy. Who is this guy? Can anyone name this guy? No. No, this is, yeah, right. This is Satoshi. That guy is Satoshi. You cannot see his face because no one knows who he is, right? So that's Satoshi. Satoshi created Bitcoin. Okay. So Bitcoin was lying around for quite some time. No one talked about it. No one knew. अगर आपको पता होता तो आप क्या करते? पूरा ले लेते, right? आज किसी को नहीं पता था. It was lying around. No one view. No one saw. No one saw the technology behind it, what it is. But in 2015, it started gaining some attention because the price was rising. It's like आज एक है, कल डबल हो गया, 25 दिन वो होने लग गया, पैसा बढ़ने लग गया, right? So that's when people start realizing the potential. Okay, yeah, there is something behind this, and we need to look at it. But people are always thinking that it's a scam, it's a bubble, it's going to burst someday. And it might burst someday. There might be a day where everything falls down, but the technology behind it is real. Not one, these are public blockchains which we know of. Various companies are using their own private blockchain. ये जो जहाँ पे transactions करते हैं वहाँ पे हम लोग medical records भी save करके रख सकते हैं, जो कभी जाएगा नहीं, right? So that's where this technology can be used. So what happened is like in 2015, they started various people started building dApps. So this is Ethereum. His founder's name is Vitalik Buterin. If you see, he's just a skinny guy. You cannot see that. Okay, he's a millionaire. He donated around $5 million to Ukraine right now. So he's on the front page of Times magazine because this seems to be the future, right? Then there were various apps like MakerDAO, Uniswap, Synthetics, which happened, and now, so like Bitcoin kicked off the idea of decentralization finance, but Ethereum really made it possible. I'll talk about this in the next slide. So these are few layers which are built on top of Ethereum. So yeah, this is kind of complex, and people like you might not get it. You will have to do your own research, but in simple terms, it's Ethereum, and there are applications which are built on top. These are the major applications: Compound, DYDX, MakerDAO, and then there is another layer like Uniswap. These are the exchanges, and then we have our wallets. So these are the wallet providers in which we have our tokens. So let's go into few examples. I'll first show you a list of other applications which are there. So 1inch, Curve, MakerDAO. So I would show you demo of few of them. Okay. Next slide. So what's MakerDAO? If you need to do transactions, right, you cannot always use Ethereum and Bitcoin and other such volatile pieces, right? You need stability. आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि मैं आज जो अमाउंट ले रहा हूँ कल मेरा डंप ना हो. So what people do is there is a stable coin called DAI which is decentralized. So this token, this one token always has the value of $1. So there is no risk in owning this. You can swap it to $1 anytime. Okay. So what people do is like if let's say I think Bitcoin is going up. Okay. What I would do is first I would have to enter. I would enter and buy DAI, and I would keep my DAI and wait. Okay, I have 1,000 DAI and I'll wait for it to come down so that I can buy, and then it goes up. And once it goes up, how can I? Again, I have to convert it to DAI, right? So that's the only way I can pull out my profit, because you need a stable currency to do the trading. You need something which is stable, and you need something which is volatile. बिकॉज आप हमेशा बिटकॉइन होल्ड करते रहोगे तो कभी नीचे जाएगा कभी ऊपर जाएगा. आपको अगर निकलना है उससे, आप ऊपर हो और आपको पता है ओके आई हैव मेड माय प्रॉफिट एंड आई हैव टू get my money back, so you have to convert it to DAI. So this is MakerDAO is a organization which has built this token. Okay, so let's move to a bit of a demo. Okay, so this is Uniswap. First I would show you how Uniswap looks like and how we can do a transaction. Okay, just give me a second. It's fine, it's fine.
Yes, yes. You can ask this.
Hello. Okay. So this is what a Uniswap application looks like. So it's very simple, right? There is no fancy charts or other like buy. So how traditional finance works is there is a list of buyers and there's a list of sellers. Once their amount matches, it executes the trade. So that's what happens in traditional exchanges. So in here in Uniswap, what happens? So it's on Polygon blockchain, right? There's another blockchain which is called Polygon. And interesting thing is the creator of Polygon was Indian. His name is Sandeep. He was behind this blockchain, not that Sandeep. Yeah, so that guy is now a millionaire and he is staying in Dubai because there are various restrictions, right? Anyone heard about 30% crypto tax? Yeah, right. So so what happens is like what my perspective is like when computer came in, there were statements like कंप्यूटर आएगा तो इंडिया का यूथ को काम नहीं मिलेगा, सब ऑटोमेटिक हो जाएगा एंड इंडियन यूथ के पास कुछ काम. सबसे ज्यादा अगर किसी को फायदा हुआ है तो इंडिया को हुआ है, राइट? After computer. So once computer came in, every individual has now jobs. You guys are doing IT just because we have computers today, right? So that's the reason. Once we do not understand the technology behind, we try to stay away. But whenever we understand it, it's already too late. Okay. So yeah, let's come back to this Uniswap. So what I can do is like this Matic token fluctuates in price. So there's a website I can show you which gives me a view of how it looks like. So this is a website which lists tokens. So this is a Uniswap token. Okay, that exchange has its own token. Okay, I have an interesting story about this. I'll let you know. So first, let me check the price of Polygon. Okay. Yeah. So this is the Polygon token. So today it's around 4% down. Everything on crypto is down today. Okay. So this has a value of $1.45. Okay. It was not like this every time. I can show you the chart. So this is a chart. This is 1 day chart. But if I zoom into all, so this was created in 5th uh, 5th October or something, near about that, at this price. 0.00377. Okay. And such tokens or such programs, what they have is they lie around because they need development, right? You need to trust them that they would develop a program. So people who trusted invested in these tokens. Okay. And today you know what the price is. It's like 100x. I'm not sure. More than that. Right. Yeah. So what today I'm going to show you is so we saw the price, right? It's around $1.45. So what I'm trying, I have one matic, by the way. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I want to convert into DAI. DAI is a stable coin, right? Which has a value of $1. So is it matching from that chart? It shows 1.45 and I'm getting only 1.443, which is quite similar. It's taking the gas charges, which are transaction charges, this goes to the miner. So yeah, Polygon is a blockchain, and there are Polygon miners as well. So they would get some amount. So let's do the swap. Okay. Once I click on swap, it shows me more details. What's going to happen is my one matic would be converted into one DAI and expected amount. Okay. I click on confirm swap. So this is my wallet. Okay. So this which page which opens up, that's my wallet. So my wallet had around 1 point something matic. So now it's going to convert into DAI, right? So I'll click on confirm. So it says the transaction is submitted. Like Sheetal submitted one transaction, right? So I can view it on the Explorer. Okay. So this is the transaction hash, and it says status is pending. So this is from Uniswap. So this is my wallet, and I'm sending my Matic token to Uniswap exchange. This is exchange wallet. Okay. I would hit refresh. So once I hit refresh, it's still pending. Oh God. It's taking some time. Till this processor, let's move on to another decentralized application. So this is called Aave. All funky names. So this is on Ethereum blockchain. So this is kind of a bank. Aave is a bank. So what we do in a bank, we lend them, we give them money, and they lend it to someone else. So this in Aave does the same thing. It has some interest rate which it gives to us. For example, in this case, if I, let's say, lend them Ethereum, they would give me around 0.23% interest, which is not that great. So there are other tokens which have other interest rates. For example, BUSD has 2.5. So this is the interest which we get when we give them the money. And there is also a borrow section where people can borrow these assets and they will have to pay the interest. And that interest is what comes to us. Okay. So there is also a borrow tab. I'm not going to borrow right now. But yeah, click on borrow and you have the borrow tabs and it would show you that interest. So if I want to buy some BUSD, that 3.97 is the interest I would have to pay yearly. Okay. So like, is anyone investing in mutual funds? Is there anyone who is investing in mutual fund? Right. Wow, great. What's the rough interest rate which you are getting on mutual funds? Does anyone have any idea?
Sir, on an average, we get
It's
14
around 10-12%. So there is one application which is very much in hype. It's called the Anchor protocol. Okay. What this allows is it gives you, just wait for it. So it's loading slow. Can anyone guess why it's loading slow? Because of the internet connection. So yeah, this gives you roughly around 20% interest on your stable coins. So the only risk when you are investing into this is the smart contract risk, that there is someone who has created this program, right? So he might be like us, he might have made errors, and that's the risk we are taking. If a hacker gets to know about that error and he hacks the smart contracts, we lose our money. But there are around 12 billion dollars which people have already invested in this. Okay, so this is a very niche application which is a DApp right now. So just to make it interesting, I would yeah, let's. It's still loading. I'm not sure why. It should. Yeah, no worries. So I would let you guys know about a story. So Uniswap did an airdrop. Okay, airdrop is like giving away the tokens. Okay, so this happened in September 2020. So what they did, they dropped around 400 uni tokens to people who have used this application. Anyone who has touched this application and did their swap, they dropped around 400 tokens. And I was one of them. Okay. So luckily I was trying out these applications and I had done a transaction and they gave me around 400 uni tokens. Okay. Let me show you the price of uni today. Okay. So what's the price? It's around $10, right? So they sent me around 400 tokens for free. Okay. So at that time I was beginning my yeah, how much is it? How much is it in INR today? 75. It's around 3 lakh rupees. So one day I wake up and I get to know that someone has dropped around 3 lakh. At that, yeah, that's another story. So what happened was, so let's go to the charts, right?
Okay, before proceeding, let me ask you,
Yeah.
are you able to share this
Yeah, I'll have time for questions, right? I know everyone has a lot of questions. Yeah, so this is our chart. Okay, this happened to me. So this is when I got the token. Okay, it was around $2 or $2 or $3. Okay, so I was very happy. One day I wake up, I see this, and I'm like, okay, I have around 1.5 lakh at that time around in my wallet. What should I do? What did you guys think I have done? I sold it. I didn't hold it. It went up to $45, guys. 12 to 15 lakhs, right? What I did was I sold it over here. So that's the story, because at that time I was not aware what this is, what exchange is, because I was just trying out. I didn't have any rough idea what's happening. So I didn't believe in Uniswap. So that's the major take. I didn't believe. I thought it's just a bubble. They dropped it. Okay. Oh, they don't know anything. They are dropping it to people randomly. No, they had a plan. They wanted to create their organization. So that 400 tokens, they were their shares. Okay. For example, I'm creating a company. So there are shares, right? So Uniswap was giving away their shares. So this is the price of their share. This exchange, this company, it's their share, which is dumping right now. But yeah, it was their share. So I didn't realize that. I didn't see any value in that. So I just sold it. It's free money, right? So I just sold it. And yeah, I did a lot of regret at this time. But yeah, that's what happens when you don't know what you're doing, right? So that's what happens. Yeah, this was roughly few of
but it can go the other way also, because 2 3 years back there was a person coming up with blockchain, this blockchain.
Yeah, right.
It's the era step token.
Okay.
But I know that you could find
Yeah, like 99 to 98% of people creating this random tokens, they dump in market. So you need to be, yeah. If everyone is thinking that you just go and put your money in this and you will be a millionaire in some time, you're wrong. Right? We are not that smart yet, but you can study the market and you can become a developer, right? ये ऊपर नीचे होगा, but तुम just go and search for the salary, average salary of a blockchain developer. इंडिया में नहीं होगा हायर, आप लोग इंडिया के बाहर ही होंगे हायर. Yeah, right. But yeah, still there are a lot of blockchain developers who are earning a lot. Yeah, blockchain. Yeah, right. This is just a part of blockchain. This finance is just a part of blockchain. There is insurance. There are various other things. There are NFT, right? Has anyone heard about NFT? Yeah, that's a craze, right? NFT. मेरे पास NFT है, इसके पास NFT है, right? So let me move on to my slide. I'll talk about it. So my whole topic of so it's like just giving you a rough idea. Don't get bored. So this is our traditional order book. What happens? This is a list of buyers. I want to buy this at this price, and these are sellers. I want to sell this at this price. Once this matches, okay, there's a trade executed, and you swap your whatever. So that's traditional finance, and what we saw is Uniswap, which is very different. So how that works? So this is a simple idea how Uniswap works in the background. सामने तो हमने देखा ऐसा swap button दबा दिया हो गया. Right? What happens in background is like there is a pool, so people can contribute. Let's say मेरे पास बहुत सारा Ethereum पड़ा है जो नहीं है, और बहुत सारा DAI है मेरे पास. And what I can do is like I can earn interest, right? So what I can do is I can put it into the Uniswap pool. मैंने मेरे tokens ये pool में डाल दिया. Okay? What happens is like let's say one day Sheetal came up, मेरे को थोड़ा सा Ethereum लेना है आज. So what she did is she went and press swap. What happens is like मैंने जो tokens उसमें डाला है वो pool में, उसमें से Ethereum शीतल ने ले लिया, and उसका जो DAI, she put that DAI in my pool. Okay, so in the background what happening is there is a pool. So for example, we did a Matic to DAI swap. So we have a Matic to DAI pool which did the transaction. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, have you guys seen these images? So these are crypto punks. Okay, another fad. These are just images on blockchain. Only let's say I'm really not sure. I have. Yeah, there are a lot of other NFTs like Bored Ape Yacht Club. आप लोग उसका price सुनोगे तो आप बोलो क्या? क्यों? There's no reason, right? You will own a JPEG image for millions of dollars. Why would you do that? It's I'm really not sure. It most likely is a bubble. NFT is a bubble, and I'm really not. So what NFT is? Full form पता है किसको? Screen पे मत देखो. Right. What fungible क्या है? What's fungible? Right. So like so Bitcoin is fungible. What it means is like चलो किसी और का एग्जांपल लेते हैं. आपका नाम क्या है? राज. और आपका नाम क्या है? तनिष्क और राज. ओके, सो तनिष्क के पास एक बिटकॉइन है. ओके, रैंडम स्टोरी. तनिष्क के पास एक बिटकॉइन है. ओके, हो भी सकता है, वी डोंट नो, राइट? सो एंड आपका नाम क्या था? राज के पास भी एक बिटकॉइन है. सो दोनों का वैल्यू सेम है, राइट? वन the Bitcoin he has and the Bitcoin he has the same value, but NFT is different. That's the reason it's non-fungible. Bitcoin is fungible because the both are having the same value. NFTs are different because एक जो for example I showed you CryptoPunks, right? So the person one everything is CryptoPunk. All these are CryptoPunk. There are around 10,000 unique images like this, but this ये और ये different है, right? ये स्मोक कर रहा है, ये कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, right? These are different, right? So that's the reason it's called non-fungible. So if I like, I can give it my price. I think this is better than this, so this might be rated higher. So that's how NFT works. So this is an interesting fact. This guy, he was sold in March of 2021 for $7.5 million. Someone bought this image on blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, for this amount of money. Yeah, so this is a bit. Yeah, yeah. Hello. Right. So this is the DAO, which I talked about. That Uniswap gave me tokens, right? What they were trying to do is they were trying to create a DAO, which is an organization who have all these tokens who can vote. Let's say मुझे Uniswap में एक नया feature add करना है, तो decentralized है, right? कौन decision लेगा? Someone needs to take the decision, right? So what happens is, if you have 400 uni tokens, you have 400 votes. Okay, so if let's say there is a new proposal to add a special feature on Uniswap, people having these tokens can vote yes or no. जैसे election में होता है, right? You can decide, okay, add करना है ये feature या नहीं करना. So to take the decisions involved around these applications, there are DAOs created. So every application has their own DAO. The token holders or the shareholders of that particular token are the members of that DAO. Okay. So resources. So like I showed you guys, there are various resources like Coin Market Cap, on which you can see what's happening with these applications, how they are performing. So where there are also various apps. This is called DeFi Pulse, which shows how much money is logged in a particular protocol. For example, MakerDAO has around 9 point. This is like 9 point something billion dollars. People have invested in that protocol. So that stands number one. There are Compound, Uniswap, and there are multiple such applications in which there are money involved. So these applications you can have a look on the internet. DApp Radar is another such organization. Yeah, yeah, everyone is happy right now. Yeah, we are concluding it. So what's the conclusion, right? इतना कुछ तो बात किया, अभी ऐसे पैसे कमाते हैं, वो करते हैं, ये इन्वेस्टमेंट है, ये टेक्नोलॉजी है, राइट? सो क्या है इसका कंक्लूजन? क्या है? फटाक से रीड मत करो, मैं बताऊंगा क्या. Conclusion is that the current hype around Bitcoin, Ethereum, and NFTs is very similar to a dot-com bubble. Has anyone heard about dot-com bubble? So what बहुत पहले हुआ था, हम लोग सब थे भी नहीं यहाँ पे. So what happened was there were new in web 1.0 there have been new websites coming up. .com, Amazon.com, blah.com. So what ऐसे ही hype generate हुआ था वो time पे. Okay, I need to invest in this .com and it would perform very well. So what happened was people started buying shares of that particular companies, and one day what happened is like this bubble burst. एक company drop हुआ और bankrupt हो गया, and वैसे ही side में सब drop हो गया. Amazon was involved, but Amazon ने survive किया. So like Amazon, there might be few tokens which would survive, and people who had invested in them might reap the gains. So many companies and ideas would not survive. So क्या पता Bitcoin नहीं survive करेगा या Ethereum नहीं survive करेगा. What would survive is the technology behind it. जो technology है blockchain, solidity, जिसपे code करते हैं हम लोग, that technology would survive and which would result in Web 3.0. So focus on the technology, and money comes after that. Okay, so that's the conclusion.
Like where you can earn money through, it's not like you have heard of stocks,
Yeah.
we are talking about
Right.
storage.
Right. Yeah. Right. There are various applications like file. There is a file system which is decentralized, IPFS, right? So there are other aspects. Mostly I covered was decentralized finance, but there are other aspects. So now, as we have concluded, it's time for questions. ज़्यादा नहीं, complex questions, easy questions. Does anyone have any questions? And okay. Oops.
Question from Prince, it's second year.
Okay, sir, you told Bitcoin to INR is not easy. I want to know how it is. कौन है ये? तुम्हारा दोस्त है? I want to know how it is very easy while using second party apps like Binance, CoinSwitch, CoinDCX. बहुत सारा ads देखा होगा, right? CoinDCX, पैसा डालो, पैसा डबल ये वो. So these are exchanges. These are not decentralized exchanges. These are centralized exchanges on crypto. There are different types of exchange, right? Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. There is no one. There's no central entity. But these applications have a central entity. इनका एक owner है, इनका एक company है, और ये लोग decide करते हैं. So what he is asking is, should I Bitcoin to INR is not easy. I want to know how it is very easy while using second party apps like. So this application, what they do is like they take your KYC. So the main reason people are into this is they want anonymity. They don't want others to know who they are, who are they doing the transaction. There might be some millionaire between us. So what these applications are doing, they are getting your KYC. So जो 30% tax है वो लोग कैसे लगा सकते हैं? अगर सिर्फ wallet address है आपके पास, you're using decentralized wallets, you're using decentralized application. There's no way they can know, okay, this guy is this. Because you're not doing KYC. Anyone can create a random wallet, right? But if you use this to convert your Bitcoin to INR, you are getting in that list of transactions and you need to pay that tax. And so 30% is very much. No one earns at least 30% to give that to others. So these exchanges of law, which I can see is like, this is very easy because there is a lot much liquidity. There's a lot many people who are buying there. So that's the reason it's easy because it's convenient, right? कौन जाएगा Uniswap पे जाएगा, wallet create करेगा, इतना मेहनत कौन करेगा? A regular person, what he would do, go into that app, CoinDCX, buy पे click किया, and he would buy some amount, right? उसके background में क्या हो रहा है? That token is not on your wallet. जब भी आप DCX पे buy वगैरह करते हो तो वो आपके wallet में नहीं होता, वो exchange के पास होता है, बस वो आपके नाम पे होता है, ऐसे बोलते हैं. Once the exchange is hacked and their tokens are gone, your tokens are gone because you are not. That's not a. Yeah, major identity is lost, and with that comes like government को पता है आपके पास क्या है क्या नहीं है. So once it's on the exchanges, you cannot get it back. Yeah, other questions? I hope it answered. Next question. Do anyone have? With what? Exchanges or applications? So this investing in this is very risky. It's not like investing in shares. Shares is फिर भी उतना risky नहीं. These get dumped like 10 to 5% in a day. So you cannot lose that, right? 5% आपका amount चला गया तो yeah, it's very risky to do these things. So what I'm opting is I was just trying to make you guys keep interested in that application with all these demo. But the background, the technology behind it is very boring. सिर्फ मैं टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में बात करता तो आप लोग पक जाते 2 मिनट में. होप अभी भी आप पक गए होंगे, बट उतना नहीं. ठीक है, that was it. That was my presentation. I hope you guys liked it, and thank you for giving me a chance.